Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the What a Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the 1994 Detroit Lions rebuild here on Madden 22. We are back, and I am still crossing my fingers that it does not crash, because that is always in the back of my mind now after the tragedy that happened in the Ravens series. So we gotta hope that it doesn't. We also have to hope that we can rebuild this Lions team into a championship before Barry Sanders inevitably retires, because that's kind of the whole point of me doing the Lions, is because I want to get Barry Sanders a championship that he never got. So we are entering the 1997-98 NFL season with the 98 NFL draft coming up. So we are getting closer to the modern day, closer to some big names. Got to win this championship pretty soon. I don't think we're ready just yet, but we're getting better. If you guys go on to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's continue rebuilding the Detroit Lions. In the last episode, we made one signing in the offseason, and it was this man right here, Joseph Montana. I'm super excited about having him on the squad. He's old, 40 years old. But maybe he can bring us some success in his final years in the NFL. Who knows? We still obviously got this man right here, Barry Sanders, 28 years old. We need this man to get a ring. I'm going to feel so ashamed of myself, so disappointed, so distraught if he retires before we get him a championship. We're not ready just yet, I don't think. We have some good receivers. We have Terrell Owens, we have Joe Horn, and we have Herman Moore. All fairly young and very good. So we've got the foundation of a good receiving core. Offense line is coming together. We still need to work on the tight end spot, and the defense is most certainly coming together. We added a bunch of really good players in the draft, adding Darren Sharper, Rondé Barber, Jason Taylor, Pat Williams. I mean, we added a lot of good pieces for the future of this team. So we are looking really, really good. We need to add another linebacker to pair alongside Ray Lewis, but the defensive line's pretty much good to go now. We probably could add one more corner. We also got Chris Canty in the draft as well, but he wasn't as good as Barber is. We probably could use one extra corner that has a development trait, certainly another middle linebacker, and then we'll see how the safeties go from there. But, I mean, the team, you can see the start of this team, man. You can see the start of a very, very good football team. A very, very good football team. We just need to prove it on the field and in simulation now. Let's add the boys. Import the local file. 1998. Welcome aboard, Peyton Manning. Is this our quarterback? Is Peyton Manning the quarterback that we have been asking for? He might very well be. Is he going to be the quarterback that takes us to the promised land? I would love it if he did. I would absolutely love it if he did. I don't know if he will, though, if he'll be our guy. And it's this man right here. I mean, we're getting Randy Moss. I had him in the Ravens series, but we didn't really get to use him that much because it crashed and it broke. So we're getting Randy Moss again. That's a guarantee. I don't care what I have to do. I'm coming away with Randy Moss and maybe Peyton Manning. Am I going to get real crazy in this draft? I might get real crazy in this draft. It's a very good possibility. You guys might be seeing some craziness. You guys might be seeing some actual craziness in this draft. Anybody on the defense? I mean, we're pretty good on the defensive line now. I could use some nice backups, but I'm not really seeing anybody that I want to go after. D-tackles, same deal. Linebackers, Takeo Spikes. Middle linebacker, Jeremiah Trotter. That's probably it. Oh, I saw Lennon Fletcher down there. I forgot that he's always down here at the back. Keith Brooking. And then corners, Charles Woodson, R.W. McCorders, Patrick Surtain, PS1, Samari Roll. I talked about we needed another corner. 1998 might be giving me just that. 1998 might just be giving me that. So, and if I could come away to Bucky Jones as well, that'd be awesome. Should we also put Scott Frost on the list? Scott Frost. Alright, so we've got our game plan. We know that we need to come away with Randy Moss and with maybe Peyton Manning? Maybe Peyton Manning? Question marks are abound about a certain man from Tennessee named Peyton Bartholomew Manning. There's a lot of good players in this draft. A lot of good players. A lot of good players in this draft. Our draft capital is as follows. We have 2 first-round picks, our own and Miami's. And then 2 second-round picks, our own and Miami's. And then 3 third-round picks, our own, Atlanta's, and San Francisco. Then a 4 and a 6. So there is possibilities to make some magic happen. And you know I'm the magic man. So we're going to start simulating here. Game 1, Week 1 against the Houston Oilers. And it will be a loss. But that is not a bad thing. Because remember, Peyton Manning and Randy Moss are in this draft class. So this being a losing season is not necessarily the worst thing in the world. Because it would make it easier for me to trade up. That's for sure. But we do beat the Seahawks. Jason Taylor gets an upgrade point. I'm looking for a lot of development from our young guys. Darren Sharper, Rondé Barber, Jason Taylor. I want to see those guys develop. Negotiations. Who needs a new contract this year? Broderick Thomas does. Okay, good news. It's not that many important people. Broderick Thomas, I might consider bringing back. Morton Anderson, I think we just let him walk. He's probably a little bit too old. Johnny Morton's an interesting one. I could probably trade Johnny Morton for something. I don't know what I could trade for him, but I could probably trade him for something, I would think. I would think, I mean, come on. I would guess I could probably get him for something. We lose to the Niners. We take on the Rams now. And we will lose to the Rams as well. Playing the Green Bay Packers in this one. And the Green Bay Packers will lose to us. That's quite the weird one. I didn't expect us to beat the Packers. But hey, a win is a win is a win is a win. Now we take on the Vikings, who are undefeated. Minnesota looking pretty good this year, and they stay undefeated. We now have to play the Bears. Mock draft number 2 is out as well. We're not really concerned with mock draft number 2. We lose to the Bears. Not surprising. The Bears are pretty solid. We get some good upgrade points for Vrabel, for a bunch of people. I think I'm going to jump into this game with the Cowboys, and this will probably be the only game that I jump into for this episode. And that's, if you're not familiar, the reason I only jump into one game is because I'm super scared that it's going to crash on me, and I don't want to give it that extra stress of having to jump in and out of games. I understand that it could crash at any moment. It's not just jumping into game guarantees that it's a possibility of crashing. It could crash anytime, like simulating or anything. But I just don't want to add to that stress. So I am going to simulate here. Nope, that's not the simulate button. That's Madden 24 simulate button, or save button. I am going to save my backup file and my original file just so that we're good to go. Just so that we are good to rock and rolla. All right. We could negotiate with some players here before we jump in. I think I might want to offer Broderick Thomas a contract. 30 years old. I don't want to pay him too much. I'll pay him $3.55 as his signing bonus. And he's going to come back. So Broderick Thomas comes back. We still have a good amount of money. And I think I'm going to let everybody walk. And then maybe trade Johnny Morton. I think that's going to be the best move for us. So now let's go and jump in to Jerry's World. Play the Cowboys. I mean, they're 6-2. We're probably going to get smoked. But we might as well see what can happen. All right, the Cowboys are kind of dog walking us in this game, which is not to be shocked. We're not surprised this is happening. I mean, they don't have Emmitt Smith anymore. At least I don't think they do. I mean, that's not Emmitt Smith right there. But they do have Troy Aikman. They do have Michael Irvin. And they still have a very good offensive line, as you can see by their 3 superstar offensive linemen on the ground there. Ooh, oh God, he's very, very sticky. Very, very sticky. Kaufman gets a good carry, 3rd and inches, and the quarter will end right there. Do we bring an all-out blitz? I think we do. Sting pinch, adjust everybody, go crazy. Ray Lewis, get back there. Thomas got there. Is that inches? It's 4th and 1. Let's go, boys. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm freaking talking about. That's the step up you need to do. They kick the field goal. The offense is actually moving the football down the field. I love to see it at the 20. We're going to hand this ball off to Barry Sanders because it's Barry Sanders. And he's going to have himself not as good of a gain as I wanted him to have. The blocking didn't really show up there. But that's okay because we got Joe Montana. My man is a Hall of Fame quarterback, and he's throwing Hall of Fame passes to nobody. He's 2 for 6. Oh, he's washed. He's washed. It's over. It's over for Bozo. I gotta throw a little check down to this guy. I don't even know who that was. I've never heard of that man a day in my entire existence on planet Earth, but I had to throw it to him because of reasons, and that's Herman Moore! Joe Montana with a dot. Absolute bullet. And now we give it to none other than Barry Sanders to punch it in and take the lead for the first time today. Montana, under center, snap, hands it to Barry. Parting of the seas. And Barry Sanders scores a rushing touchdown. Remember, he's got back-to-back seasons of 1,900 yards. And he won Offensive Player of the Year last year, I'm pretty sure. So, Barry Sanders is a him. He's very good at football, if you didn't know. Kick field goal. It's 13-10. We're actually staying with this Cowboys team, which is kind of scary. The fact that we're staying with this Cowboy team. But we are. Maybe it's because Joe Montana's here. And he's our guy. Or maybe it's because Barry Sanders is freaking amazing. That's also a possibility. Very good possibility. We're going to motion. Hand it to Barry. We're going to try to hurdle in. I tried to hurdle in. He didn't do it. And we're going to spike this football. I know Barry Sanders always handed it to the referee, but we can't do that. So we're going to spike the football in Dallas. And we got ourselves another big lead. Can we dominate? The game is on the line. 1st and goal from the 1. Can we get some pressure on Troy Aikman? The snap. The handoff. He's not in. Kaufman's knee was down. Oh, man. That's crazy. Kaufman's knee was down at 2nd and goal. Got to bring a linebacker blitz. Lewis has got to get in the backfield. Ray Lewis. Show him up. Ray Lewis popped the ball out. No, 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 no. Good touchdown saving tackle from Powell. Ray Lewis destroyed that man's existence, but they almost capitalized and got a touchdown out of it. I would have been unbelievably upset if they would have scored off of that. Ray Lewis murdered that man, and yet they still almost scored. That's corner end zone. Touchdown, Dallas Cowboys. Troy Aikman, you can't keep him down for too long before he does something like that. We gave the ball back to the Dallas Cowboys. Not what you want to do. 17-23. It is 4th down. Game on the line. Possibly the final play. No timeouts. Got to go for the end zone here. Snap it. Got to be a deep ball. Morton, no touchdown. That's ball game. We are going to lose to the Dallas Cowboys. Not a shock. I expected us to lose, but we were actually in that game for a lot of it. Kind of upsetting that we couldn't get it. That was quite the game, though. That was quite the game. That hit with Ray Lewis was crazy. Absolutely crazy. That was a good catch from Herman Moore, too. That was a good catch from Herman Moore. Aikman outplayed Montana. It has to be said. It has to be said that Aikman outplayed Montana. So we now go into the second half of the season with a losing record. We got to keep an eye on... Who's the other team that we have? Is it the Dolphins? Hold on, let me take a look at the draft picks. It is the Dolphins, and they are 8th right now, so they're not having a good season either. If we keep this up, we got ourselves 2 top 10 picks. We need to hope that the Dolphins continue to play as bad as we have been playing. Then that draft pick will actually look like a very smart idea, a very smart play. So we play against the Bears, and we beat the Chicago Bears. Okay, but we got some focus players to talk about here. I'm going to use it on Peyton Manning. I'm going to use it on, even though we know Peyton Manning's going to be amazing, I'm going to use it on, who else should we use it on? I don't even know. I guess we just use it on top guys. Let's just use it on Hines Ward, and we'll use it on Kreutz. So we will put those 3 guys into the private workouts or the scouting, and then we'll simulate. The Vikings are now 10-0. They were 5-0 when we played them first time. They have yet to lose, and they do now lose. We are the team that beats them. Why are we playing so well down the stretch? This happened last season, didn't it? We started out really bad, and then we started to win a bunch of games down the stretch and ruined our chances for a good draft pick, but still didn't make the playoffs. We do it again. We beat the Houston Texans. We are 5-7. What are the Dolphins? The Giants are 0-11. The Dolphins are starting to play a little bit better, but they're 4-7. So they're catching up with us. We're 5-7. They're right there on our track. Can we beat the Bucks? Can we beat the Tampa Bay Bucks? Yes, we can. We go into the bye week at 6-7. This shouldn't really be possible, but I guess Barry Sanders is just that dang good. And now the Cardinals, who are 3-10, absolutely suck. We actually play the Dolphins next week. We need to win that game. We will beat the Cardinals. We are on the winning streak of all winning streaks. The Dolphins have lost 3 games since we last looked at them. We get some upgrade points for the boys. This is a massive game. You may not think it's a massive game, but this is a massive game. Because the Dolphins have now fallen to right here. There's a lot of teams at 3-11 and 2-12 and 1-13. At least the Giants won a game. The Raiders have lost 10 in a row. Falcons have lost 8 in a row. All right, so we're still projected to probably have a pretty good pick, but our pick is rising like crazy because we're winning a bunch of games. Are we going to beat the Miami Dolphins? Please beat the Miami Dolphins. We've won all these crazy games. We beat the 10-0, of course. This is the most Madden stat or Madden simulation I've ever seen in my life. We beat the 10-0 Vikings, and we can't beat the 4-win Dolphins in the same season? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. We will beat the Green Bay Packers. If we beat the Jacksonville Jaguars here, we could make the playoffs. We do beat the Jags. We don't make the playoffs because the Packers were 10-7. I guess I should have looked at that before I did it. Why do we play so well down the stretch and ruin our draft pick? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Barry Sanders goes another season without a playoff appearance. Oh, it's just like real life, isn't it? It's just like real effing life. The Dolphins are going to end up with the 5th pick in the draft. I will take that. We have pick 17. I'm not super upset with that. Not super upset with that. We have pick 17 and pick 5. I guess that's okay, considering we lost to the Dolphins, so they could even had a lower pick if we would have beat them. I guess having pick number 5 is pretty good. And we can always trade up if we need to. It's going to be Colts and Cowboys in the Super Bowl. So forget about the Colts being in the race for Peyton Manning. They're in the Super Bowl. They don't need Peyton Manning. Joe Montana, 3,900 yards, 29 touchdowns, 8 picks. Jake Delhomme as I like to call him. He got in for 1 pass, but he missed it. Barry Sanders, 1,500 yards and 21 touchdowns. Oh no, are we starting to see the decline of Barry Sanders? I don't want to be here for that. Herman Moore had 1,000 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's what having a real quarterback does for you, even if he's 40 plus. Kerry Cash had a decent season. Johnny Morton, we might try to trade him. Terrell Owens had a good year. Joe Horn didn't really get to play much. Let's see. Defensively, 145 tackles for Ray Lewis. Killed it. Rondé Barber had 107. Willie McGinnis, 95. 91 for Sharper. Derek Schaap. Borgella had 90. Tackle velocity was Willie McGinnis with 18. So had Strahan with 18. Ellis had 17. Thomas and Taylor had 14. Sack leader was Willie McGinnis. It was a galaxy brain play to get Willie McGinnis on the squad. 12.5 sacks for him. Ellis had 9.5. 7.5 for Thomas. 6 for Taylor. 5 for Strahan. Pick leader was Ray Lewis, Sharper, and Barber with 3. Clay had 2. A couple guys had 1. So that is your stats for Season 3. Colts and Cowboys in the Super Bowl. I would assume the Cowboys are going to come away with it, and they don't. The Indianapolis Colts, without Peyton Manning, have won the Super Bowl. Marshall Faulk is your MVP of the Super Bowl. Emmitt Smith gets MVP of the league on the Houston Texans. He also gets Offensive Player of the Year. Kevin Carter, Defensive Player of the Year. Warwick Dunn, running back for the Patriots, gets Offensive Rookie of the Year. And James Farrior. Is it Farrior? Who knows? He's played for the Broncos, and he got himself Defensive Rookie of the Year. So Barry Sanders has got 1 award. He's got Offensive Player of the Year. I am going to toss out a little simulation here just to make sure everything's up to date. And then we will decide what we do with these negotiations, because we have a few players that need new contracts and few players that I probably don't want to sign. So let's advance to the re-sign period. Do you think we can get a lot for, or maybe not a lot for Johnny Morton, but maybe we can get something for him. I mean, something, am I right? Something. Negotiations. Morton Anderson's gonna walk. Johnny Morton, I mean, $57 million for a guy that's not gonna really be much. I don't think that's really worth it. Artie Smith did go up to star. He's not that expensive. I might throw him a nice little contract here and say, why don't you come back? We like you. You have a house. Why don't you keep it? He's going to stay. Okay. Robert Massey. Screw you. And then everybody else can pretty much just take their walking papers. Okay, so Johnny Morton's he's asking for way too much money. There's no world where I would consider signing him to that. Especially when we're going to get Randy Moss. So Johnny Morton. The Bears want you. Did the Bears have a bad year? Not bad enough. The Bills want you. I know the Bills weren't playing amazing. They have pick 5. Wait, what? Do I not have pick 5? Oh, I have pick 7. Okay, so it changed at the last second to pick 7 and not pick 5. Okay, so I could trade possibly for pick 5. I wanted it. Johnny Morton for pick 5? Nope. Can I get a first round pick? Is that possible? Maybe I can get a first round pick next year. That could be useful. That could be very useful. Would they be willing to give me a first round pick next year? Would anybody be willing to give me a first round pick next year? Let's talk to a team that actually is pretty good. The Broncos, their projected pick is pick 12 next year. Would they be willing to give me it? No. The Buccaneers, their projected pick next year is pick 22. They need a receiver. Ooh, okay. We can talk with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's a corner that they need, and I'm not going to get Robert Massey, so I'm not going to bring him back, so you can have him. And then middle linebacker, we're also in need of a middle linebacker. D tackle, you can have Shane Bonham. Shane Bonham? No, it doesn't really do much. What about if I throw in another draft pick? I will give you, I have 3 third round picks. I'll give you a third round pick. That gets very close. I bet if I give them the higher of the third round picks, it would go through. Trade offer accepted. So Morton, Bonham, and a third round pick this year goes to Tampa for their pick next year. So we need to hope for next episode that Tampa sucks. All right, that's probably the only guy that's going to have any value for us. So let's go to free agency, see if there's anybody knocking around that wants to come play for Detroit, try to win a championship, throw some feelers out there. Larry Allen, we did that last in the Ravens, though. I kind of want to do it again, though. We could reunite the team. Steve Young and Joe Montana. We could get them both. We could also get Drew Bledsoe, but he's wanting $324 million. I'm sorry, Drew. You're not going to get that much money. Not in 1998. Priest Holmes is an interesting one. I do like the sound of that. Eric Bieniemy also. Receiver. Ooh, a little Andre Reed action. Tight end. Oh, Kevin Cash actually goes up to star development. That's nice. Tackle, guard. There's Randall McDaniel. We did that last time too. I don't want to do that again though. I probably should bring in a backup though. Let's sign Mark Schlereth to a 2-year deal. Give him like a clean 550 on signing bonus. He should be happy about that. All right, center. We should probably bring in a center as well. Is there a center that we could go for? How about Derek Brills? We'll offer him the same contract that we just offered Schlereth. He should be more than happy to sign that. Right guard, right tackle. This is where we go for Larry Allen. This is where we spend the majority of our budget right here. We just did this in the Ravens series, but I want to do it again because I want to do it again. It's my series. Larry Allen, please come play for me. That's probably honestly too much money. let me adjust the contract slightly. Let me just make sure that I have enough money to pass these guys on the offer. $99 million. Okay, that still passes them. I don't know what the Oilers and Eagles are offering, but that seems to be good enough. We probably do need a backup, don't we? We might draft a backup, though. We'll see what happens. Kevin Green. We don't need Kevin Green. Middle linebackers. Outside linebackers. Corners. We're pretty good with corner, and we might draft another one or two. So we'll see what happens. Safeties. Kickers. We got Vinatieri. We're good. Punter, though. Probably do need a punter. I'll go for Harold Alexander for a season. Or two. Doesn't matter. Whatever floats your effing boat, dude. Alright, there we go. So my negotiations. Larry Allen, Harold Alexander, Mark Schlereth, and Derek Brills. Are we going to get any of those guys? I really only care about Larry Allen, if we're being totally honest. Let's see if we can get him. Come on. Show me the money. Show me the money. Ooh, contract offer accepted for everybody. We got them all. Brills, backup center. Harold Alexander, starting punter. Larry Allen, probably going to be our starting right guard. And Schlereth is a backup left guard. Oh, I feel so much better. So much better. So Larry Allen, will move him to right guard. And then he can play there. We can move the other right guard to left guard. And the offensive line can be figured out. So Larry Allen moves to right guard. We will have Compton and move him to left guard so that he can play instead of Schlereth and whoever else we have there. So we'll move you to left guard. And the offensive line's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Gisler at center. Yeah. Look at that. Montana's dropped to a 70 overall, but that's okay. That is okay. Doggies. Look at all these X Factors on the team. McGinnis, Ray Lewis, Thomas is now an X Factor, Strahan, Ellis, Taylor, Barber. We got so many freaking X Factors. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy, man. All right, let's go into the draft. I got a game plan. We need to come away with Randy Moss, and possibly Peyton Manning. Craig Powell. Do we want to pick up Craig Powell's 5th-year option? want to. I'm not really feeling it. Who's the other fifth-year option we have? Luther Ellis. I do want to pick up Luther Ellis' fifth-year option. I want to keep him around, yes. Get the paperwork started. I would like to have Luther Ellis around for a longer time than he wants to be around, probably. So, private workouts. For some reason, they didn't use Peyton Manning. Did I not click Peyton Manning? I don't remember. I used Hines Ward and Croats. Let's do Takeo Spikes. Let's do PS1. And we'll do, I guess, Peyton Manning again. I need to know. I need to know how good Peyton Manning is. Hi, guys. I'm Peyton Manning. I got me a billboard for a forehead. Mock draft number 5. I have a bad feeling that Manning's going to go number 1. Show me the money. Peyton Manning is the number 1 overall pick. Not good. So we have to trade up to number 1, which is kind of difficult. We have the 7th pick, and they have us taking Fred Taylor. Randy Moss is 11. We also have pick 18, which is Jeremiah Trotter. That will not be happening. Okay, so we got to trade up from 7 to 1. That shouldn't be that difficult, especially with our staff points in the staff tree, in the trading part of the staff tree, all the way up. We should be able to go 1 for 1 for the most part until we get up to the top of the picks. So who's got pick number 7, or pick number 5 is the Bills. Trade offer accepted. Look at that. So if we trade number 5, can we get up to pick number 3? Just 1 for 1, or do we have to add a little bit more? No, we can go up 1 for 1. Okay, I'm liking the look of that. We are at pick number 3 now. And the Giants have pick number 1. I doubt they accept this, but there's a possibility. There is a possibility. They did. All right. Pick number 1. I tell you, man, that trading stuff is very overpowered. It is very, very overpowered. You got to use that stuff. It helps you in a lot of ways. Okay, so we now have the number 1 overall pick, and then we need to trade up with pick 18 to get Seattle's pick. So if we trade up to... Can I trade up to pick 14? I might be reaching a little bit too much here. Yeah, okay. Let me try pick 15. Who has pick 15? It is held by the Denver Broncos. And they almost got it. So I guess the max you can trade up for, or ask to trade up for, is 2 picks. Pick 18 to pick 16. Pick 16 to pick 14. Who had pick 14? It was held by somebody. I don't remember. It is held by the Panthers. They accept the trade. Pick 14 to pick 12. And then I'll probably go up to pick 10 so that we can guarantee Moss. So I need pick 12. And the Bears have pick 12. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we go to pick 10. We know that Seattle has pick 11. But who's got pick 10? Pick 10 is held by a team called Atlanta. All right. Boom. Pick number 1, pick number 10 acquired. Cha-ching. Let's get to the draft. And then we can get Peyton Manning, we can get Randy Moss, and we can be Gouda. We can be Gouda in the sheets. Start drafting. Let's do this thing. I could trade the pick, but I want Peyton Manning. We didn't get Peyton Manning in the last series because, well, we had Steve McNair. So let's get Peyton Manning, 94 throw power, 85 agility. He is our quarterback for at least a little bit. Pick number 2, the Raiders. Take Ryan Leaf. Good luck with that. Charles Woodson goes 3 to the Giants. Curtis Ennis to the Oilers. Andre Wadsworth. Keith Brooking. Kyle Turley. Kevin Dyson. Fred Taylor. And Randall Moss is a Detroit effing Lion. Randy Moss, Adam Marshall. I mean, he's just the GOAT of all GOATs. He's just the GOAT of all GOATs. Now we don't pick again until pick 7 of the second round. That is the other Miami pick, I think. Jason Peter, Marcus Nash. I wonder if anybody of importance is going to go before the second round. There goes Takeo Spikes. I was kind of hoping he would fall. I didn't think he actually would, but I was a little bit... Oh, Tabaki. There was a little bit of me that kind of wanted him to fall. So now we sit here at round 2, pick 7. We could take the center of the future. We could take Jeremiah Trotter. Or we could grab... Probably Hines Ward would be the only other one that I would go for. I think we're going to grab ourselves... We're going to grab the center of the future here in the second round. Olin Kreutz, welcome to the squad. I don't know when you're going to be the starting center, but you will be. Now, the big question is, when does Hines Ward go? Does he make it all the way to our pick? No, he doesn't. He goes to Seattle. I didn't think he would, but again, small part of me wanted him to make it. All right, Jeremiah Trotter's still available. So is London Fletcher. So is Amon Green. Or Amon Green, not Amon Green. Amon Green. I think I'm going to take Amon Green. Backup running back to Barry Sanders. That'll be a nice little 1-2 punch. Then we got the third round, pick 10. Who's going to be available in the third round? Who do we got? We got London Fletcher and then a couple of other undrafted guys. So I think it might be smart to trade down here, accumulate some more picks, and then... Because I'm not really seeing anybody else that I want, so... The smart idea, everybody that I wanted, I put on the board. So I think the smart thing to do is trade down some of these picks. We can still probably come away with the guys that I want to come away with, but we can grab some more picks, and we can have ourselves quite the time. So we are in the 2025 draft, so I don't want the Tampa trade. I want preferably 2 2026 picks, or 1999 picks, I guess. But it doesn't look like they're going to give me that, at least what I'm wanting, which is a 3rd and a 4, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get that. I can get a 2 from the Giants. Hello. I didn't think that was going to be possible. A 2 from the Cowboys. The Colts are offering me the 3 and the 4. A 2 from the Chargers. Well, the Colts just won, the Cowboys are pretty good. The Giants had a top pick, so the Giants could be bad again next year. I'm going to trade the Giants for the second round pick. I didn't think I was going to get a second round pick, so taking an extra second round pick is nice. We also have pick 30, which I'm probably going to trade away as well. If I could get another second round pick, that'd be amazing. But I doubt it, since we're so late into the third round. It looks like just 4s and 3s. So if I could get a 3 and a 4, that'd be amazing. I don't know if that's going to be possible. I know I'm going to come away with a 3. It's just, can I come away with a 4? It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to come away with a 4. Kind of upsetting. But we will trade with the Atlanta Falcons for their 1999 third round pick. So now we have an extra second round pick and an extra third round pick. We simulate to pick 4. Round 4, this could be where we grab London Fletcher. There is a possibility he's there at round 6 because he's undrafted, but he's also London Fletcher, so I don't know if he's going to be there. I don't think I can risk it. I'm taking London Fletcher. That might be a little bit of a reach. He probably would have been there in round 6, but it's too much of a risk for me to let go, so we might as well grab who we grab. Final pick of the draft, we'll take Pat Tillman. We'll take Pat Tillman with this final pick. I feel like we had a good draft. I mean, I feel like we had a good... We came away with Peyton Manning and Randy Moss. That's a really, really good draft. That is quite a good draft. And in free agency, we had Larry Allen. So, I mean, we did really well this offseason. We're going to be a playoff team. Peyton Manning's an 80 overall. Moss is an 87. Kreutz is a 77, Green's a 74, Fletcher's a 73, Tillman's a 65. The best players in the class were obviously Randy Moss and Charles Woodson, Faneca, and Manning. So we got 2 top 5 players, big dubs, and then Kreutz is right there as well. So we got ourselves quite the draft class. I would have loved to have Charles Woodson, but the draft picks just didn't accumulate enough to be able to get Charles Woodson as well. I would have had to trade an actual player for him, and I don't know if I wanted to do that or not. So the team now looks a lot different with Randy Moss and with Peyton Manning under center. Make the lineups right. Offensive line looks a lot better now. Tight end still needs a little bit of work, but Kevin Cash getting star development helps. Receivers, 4 amazing receivers, 2 good running backs, a starting quarterback that's going to be a Hall of Famer, a current Hall of Famer right now, and then on defense, we've got London Fletcher, who's probably going to be the middle linebacker to start with Ray Lewis. I mean, this is a playoff team now. This is absolutely a playoff team. So I'm super excited for next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.